Today I'll be using this T-shirt yarn. I bought it this way and it was like, I think around €6.99. I've never made this thing before, so hopefully it will turn out okay. I'm going to leave a tail around 2.5 meters. Then I'll make a slip knot. When I measured these needles, they measured around 5 centimeters and around 2 inches. I have no idea what size would that be in actual knitting needle size. So now I'm gonna cast on 40. This one already counts as one. For row 1. So I'll knit the next stitch, yarn over, knit the next stitch, yarn over, knit the next stitch. So weird. Okay, yarn over, knit the next stitch, yarn over, knit the next stitch, yarn over, knit the next stitch, yarn over, knit the next stitch. So we repeat this throughout row 1. So now to finish off, yarn over, and I'll knit this last stitch. And oh my goodness, it feels so heavy. I still believe it will look nice. So this completes row 1. And now for row 2, I'll turn my work around. I'll knit this first stitch, then I'll slip the next stitch. This is just a yarn over stitch that we have made in the previous row. Now I'll knit the next stitch. I will slip the next stitch, knit the next stitch, slip the next stitch, knit the next stitch, slip the next stitch. Now I'll knit the next stitch, then I'll slip the next stitch. It's so weird. Okay, I'll knit.
Why are you knitting with those giant ones?
I needed the bigger, larger needles. I'll knit the next stitch, I'll slip the next stitch, knit the next stitch, slip the next stitch.
Isn't that hard, like pointy? Yeah.
It is.
What?
Knit the next stitch. And now repeat this throughout this row. Alright, so we will repeat row 1 and 2 for the pattern. So as you can see, for row 1, I knitted 1 stitch, yarn over, knitted the next stitch, yarn over, knitted the next stitch. So we repeated that throughout row 1. And then for row 2, I knitted the first stitch, I slipped 1 stitch, which was the yarn over from a previous row. So I'll continue throughout the second row to knit 1, slip 1 stitch, knit 1, slip the last stitch, knit 1, slip the next stitch, knit 1, slip the next stitch, and the last stitch is supposed to be a knitted stitch, so don't slip that one. So we repeat this until we have 6 rows in total, or until our work measures around 8 inches without a stretch. So as you can see, it can be very stretchy. And we need to make sure we have 2 identical pieces. And now, right here from the right side, I'm going to sew these 2 sides together. But actually I'm just going to sew 10 stitches. So now we're going to sew these 2 sides together. We'll leave a hole in the middle, but we'll sew 10 stitches on both of these sides. what we're going to do is decrease 5 stitches on 4 of these corners, and then we'll put the rest of our stitches into circular needles. Yeah, so I'll finish off the next 5 stitches. So I'll knit 1 stitch, then I'll knit the 2nd stitch, then I'll pass this 1st stitch over the 2nd stitch. I'll knit the next stitch, then pass the 1st stitch over the 2nd stitch. So we finished off 2 so far. I'll knit the next stitch, then pass the 1st stitch over the 2nd stitch. Now I finished off 3 stitches. I'll knit the next stitch, then I'll pass this 1st stitch over the 2nd stitch. Now I finished off 4 stitches. I'll knit the next stitch, then I'll pass the 1st stitch over the 2nd stitch. So now I have finished off 5 stitches. And now I'm just gonna pass the next 30 stitches into my circular needles. This one only counts as 1. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So now I have 5 stitches left in my left needle. So I'll knit the next stitch. But now I cannot finish off these next 5 stitches with this yarn because it's all the way at the beginning of this row. And I'll just cut a separate piece of this T-shirt yarn, and right here I'll cut like a small hole, and then right here through this next stitch, let's see, hopefully you can see. So right here through this first stitch I'll cut a hole. It's T-shirt yarn, so we just need to attach it. Alright, so just pull this strand of yarn through the stitch, then I'll pull this other end of this T-shirt yarn through this hole and pull through. Yep. Alright, so now we have 5 stitches on our left needle, so I'll knit the first stitch, I'll knit the second stitch, then I'll pass this first stitch over the second stitch. I'll knit the next stitch, then I'll pass this first stitch over the second stitch. I'll knit the next stitch, then I'll pass this first stitch over the second stitch. I'll knit the next stitch, then I'll pass this first stitch over the second stitch. And now I have only 1 loop left, so I'll just chain 1. So now we have to repeat the same thing for this side here. We'll need to finish off the first 5 stitches, then we'll put the next 30 stitches into our circular needles, and then we'll finish off the last 5 stitches. So I'll finish off these first 5 stitches. Now pass the next 30 stitches into my circular needles, and this one only counts as 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Now I'll repeat the same process as I did on the other side, so I'll just finish off these last 5 stitches. But let me just join some extra t-shirt yarn. So yeah, now I'll just finish off these last 5 stitches. Now that I have only one loop, I'll just chain 1, and then we'll weave these ends in later on. Here we have we left a hole where this is where our head will actually go through. This will fall on our shoulders. This is going to fall under our armpits. So we decreased 5 stitches in each corner, so that'll be like 20 stitches in total, and we'll have 60 stitches on our needles now. These needles that I'm using now are in size 12, so they're much smaller than the original ones that I used, but I don't have you know, thicker circular needles, so that's just what I'm going to use. So now again, I'll just work on these 60 existing stitches that I have on my circular needles. So I'll knit the first stitch, yarn over, I'll knit the next stitch, yarn over, 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 knit the next stitch. So I'll continue this throughout this row. So now when we come right here at this place where we have joined our stitches right here at this shoulder part, we will just continue knitting. So let me show you. See? So again, so I'll just continue knitting. Alright, so now we have finished the first row. Now for the second row, I'll slip this next stitch, then I'll knit the next stitch. I'll slip the next stitch, I'll knit the next stitch. So in the previous row we made one yarn over between every stitch. So now for this row we are slipping the yarn over stitches that we actually made in a previous row. So yeah, I'll slip the next stitch, knit the next stitch, slip the next stitch, knit the next stitch. So basically this pattern is just a 2-row repeat. Basically, we're repeating the same thing as we did in the beginning of this video. It's just that now we are working on circular needles, and it might seem complicated, but to me it's easier. I love working on circular needles. So yeah, it's just 2-row repeat. So yeah, we just repeat row 1 and 2 for the pattern. One row we will yarn over between every stitch, and in the next row we just drop the stitches that we increased in the previous row. We repeat that until our top or measures or desired length. I don't know how long it's going to be because I want to make it for myself, so I'll just have to make a few rows and see when it fits me, but I'll let you guys know when I come back. So this is how our work looks so far, and it measures around 18 inches. I guess if it ends up being short, I can use it as a cropped sweater, because this is how much t-shirt yarn I have left. So now I have 60 stitches on my needles. I'm just going to finish off these stitches.
Je peux vous le rendre, Seigneur, Seigneur, car avec les soldats, oui, les toreros peuvent s'entendre. Pour plaisir, ils ont les combats. Le cirque est plein ce jour de fête, le cirque est plein du haut en bas. Le spectateur est dans la tête, le spectateur s'est en père après fracas. Apostrophe, tu sais ta page, pour rester jusqu'à ce l'empereur, car c'est la fête du courage, c'est la fête des chiens de guerre. Allons, en garde, allons, allons, toréador, en garde, toréador, toréador.
Chain 1.
Et songe bien, oui, songe combattant, que le noir te regarde, et
now right here where we have made these sleeves, we have dropped 5 stitches on each side, so we are just gonna sew these 5 stitches only at the bottom of this sleeve. Gonna sew them together. So now we're done with this sleeve. Now we repeat the same thing for the other sleeve. So yeah, we'll sew these 5 stitches from both corners together. From here to here, our work measures around 33 inches. And from the top to the bottom, it measures around 22 inches. It's actually reversible, but I'm gonna wear it this way. I think it looks better, but she can wear it both ways. So this is how it looks inside out. We use the same stitch throughout our top, but the reason it looks different here on these first few rows is because I was working on double pointed needles, and for the rest of it I was working with circular needles.